amazing. We are now on ground level. We are on the floor level of the Colosseum right now. This is exactly where the gladiators would have fought. So they rebuilt a part of the actual wooden floorboard area here. Colosseum is huge, absolutely huge. 48 meters high. Used to be able to sit 73,000 people. Back in the day, they used to have festivals and 100 days of games where they would have events every single day, all day long. They would start off in the morning with men versus animals, hunting events, and then at lunchtime they would have executions, because that was entertainment for them back in the day. And then the afternoon was the main event. The afternoon was men versus men, gladiators. And they would fight right here on this floor where I'm standing right now. Scientists have even found pipelines leading into the Colosseum floor to indicate that they may have actually had flooded the Colosseum floor and actually had naval battles here in the Colosseum. That's pretty amazing, having a naval battle right here. I can see it. It is a huge area. So the gladiators were actually made up of about 3 types of people. They were either prisoners of war, slaves, or volunteers. And they all had their own reasons for actually doing it. The slaves were allowed their freedom after 7 years of service. The prisoners of war, I'm not too sure what actually happened with them. But then the volunteers had fame, money, and women. So if you look closely, there's actually an underground area here. It used to be covered up with wooden planks, and then on top of the wooden planks would be sand. And they'd have sand in there because the sand would absorb the blood from the fights really well. But underneath that was a series of catacombs. They would have trapdoors and elevators where they would basically lift up the animals and gladiators to fight. But there was a whole underground area where they would essentially set up their fights and then bring animals up for specific fights, etc. So if you look over here, you can see there's a cross over there. The cross indicates where the emperor and Caesar used to actually sit. That was his prime position, that was his main spot. In the depths of the Colosseum now, in the Catacomb area. This is where the gladiators would set up, where the animals and slaves would be kept. And this is where all the trapdoors and pulleys and elevators were to bring people up to the show floor for the battles.
Ferocious and hungry in the stage. The result is that many animals just lay down apathetically on the floor.
Here we reach the very top tier, the 3rd tier of the Colosseum, looking down on everything. This is where the poor people and the slaves would view the arena. It seemed to me they had the best view.